Thanks for joining us on Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Stu Rich and Mike Wood here to take you through the card at Rosehill Gardens this weekend. We're going to be having a look at the quaddie legs, plenty of best bets, a lot of value in there as well. Of course, the $100 hot seat later in the show. Welcoming our chief analyst, Michael Wood. Mate, I'll tell you what, 24 hours ago, Sydney was absolutely in buckets of rain. We've got through Warwick Farm, and again, it's on to Saturday. I'll tell you what, these curators deserve an absolute pat on the back, not only for racing yesterday, but again on Saturday, probably on a soft track.
Yeah, they do, don't they? Wednesday was unbelievable. The amount of rain during the morning and everyone jumping on social media criticising the decision to go ahead.
Yep.
Then the track played so well, then they all jumped back onto social media to say, good job, social media at its absolute best. But not only Warwick Farm, Rosehill's playing well. Ramwick was good during the carnival.
Yeah, sure was.
The Melbourne tracks are going pretty well. Maybe Canterbury and Moonee Valley, a bit of bias there. But you can expect that, can't you, Stu?
Yeah, look, tight tracks, a little bit of bias. Mike, one I didn't hear you mention there, the Kenzo. Plenty of racing, or they had the Twilight racing on there. Plenty more racing coming up. How are we taking that one this time in?
Yeah, I missed that one, didn't I? Waiting and watching is what I'm doing with that track. It's a lot of trainers, a lot of jockeys. Not quite sure what the pattern's doing there, so no big bets for me there yet. But a hell of a lot better than it was a few years ago, Stu.
Yeah, I do remember that. A few flying clods back into the jockeys, but we're not going to go there. Mate, race guides, they're all up, they're all available. Earlier in the show, not just the quaddie, what do you got your eye on early on?
Yeah, some good races early in the card, a couple of good staying races. Yep. Savakul, they absolutely haven't missed her. Cut out of the track, 2,000 metres. I wanted to have a bet, and well done if you've got the early overs. She's a great chance on Saturday. The 2,400 metre race, I'm tempted to have a go at Mazaz again because James McDonald absolutely pulled down Sam Whelan's pants last start, didn't he?
I was there watching that with you. The Bandit, yes, it did absolutely pull your pants down as well. You lost a bit of coin there, Mike, but we've got to get that back on Saturday. I'll tell you what, that was beautiful to watch, J-Mac.
He's an unbelievable rider. All credit to him. I'm backing him on Saturday.
Well, look, focus back on Rosehill this weekend, Mike. Let's have a look at the track conditions for this weekend.
Yeah, Rosehill Gardens, like we said, one of many Sydney tracks that are playing so well. They're racing a few weeks in a row here. The rail's out 3 metres. The last meeting just a few days ago. The conditions are heavy 8 on Thursday. We think they'll get back to a soft 6, and the last time the rail was plus 3 metres on a soft track, it was a fair to off rails bias.
Okay, so we're going to have a look at the first leg of the quaddie, jumping straight into it. It's race 6. It's the Festival Stakes over the 1,500 metres. Group 3 level, Mike, and Pecans, I'll tell you what, you go back, about a year ago now, this horse was just absolutely winning everything. Returned with a bang at its favourite track at Hawkesbury, and My Nordic Hero, a very eye-catching return for the Wallet Camp.
Yeah, very good horse. And Pecans, when she was up for sale, we had a look at her, ex-Godolphin, didn't we? And we missed out. Geez, good luck to those owners out there for Joe Pride. They are doing so well with this mare. She just keeps winning. Let's have a look at the first leg of the quaddie, race 6 over 1,500 metres. Pecans, My Nordic Hero, both second up. Which one can improve the most? A fair tempo over 1,500 metres. We talked about the soft track, and we talked about them edging off the rails late in the day. So inside barriers, maybe a tiny bit of a risk. All
right, we'll have a look for that as the day progresses. Let's have a look at the market now for that very first leg of the quaddie. And that horse we talk about, Pecans, right on top of the betting here, $3.80 for Joey Pride. My Nordic Hero, $5 there, coming off that good first up performance. Good fella, seems to put in some good runs, $5.50. Spectroscope, $8 here. Duke of Valentinois, where is he at this preparation, Mike? $9. New Tipperary right there as well. So look, there's a few in the market here, Mike, but a few questions.
Yeah, a few horses just hanging around in the market and not winning, aren't they? Let's have a look at My Nordic Hero first up, which might be one of the ones on the way up. His trials were okay, but we didn't really have him profiled as one of the big chances, but the market knew how well this grey was going, and Jesus is a really good run, Stu.
Yeah, look, love looking at the grey here. Look, whacking away, Mike, but look, for me, this extra little bit of 100 metres here surely is going to suit on Saturday.
100%. This was a slow tempo. They reeled off unbelievable sectionals. The bigger, stronger first hand just out sprints him over the last 200 metres, but he puts a gap on third and some decent horses there. That's a really, really good run first up.
Yeah, first hand coming back really well there, Mike. Let's have a look at Pecans now. And we know how well this horse runs around Hawkesbury. Got pushed pretty wide this day, but importantly, loves it here and got the job done.
What do they say? Mares in form just keep winning, and she is one of those. Pecans. First up, Hawkesbury. Look, the thing is, 2 of her best runs ever are at the Hawkesbury track, and talking about tracks you don't really trust, this is top of my list, I think. Got to be a little bit careful betting at Hawkesbury, but she comes to the outside. She's first up here, and she does one better than My Nordic Hero, doesn't she, Stu?
Yeah, absolutely. Comes down the outside, wins, and look, wins well. They gap third.
Loves the soft track, really consistent, really reliable, but up in the weights now.
Let's have a look at all the form and the key factors for the first leg of the quaddie, Mike. Light up the gold bars, let's take it away.
Yeah, interesting analysis. Have a look. Pecans, she's flying, gold bar, got to give it to her.
Okay, so Pecans with her nose just out in front as we hit the key factors, progression.
Just a little bit of guesswork. Who's going to improve the most second up? Maybe My Nordic Hero with a profile to improve deeper into its prep.
Okay, so the grey just levelling up there, Mike's distance at stage of prep.
Yeah, you mentioned it before, Stu. My Nordic Hero up in distance really suits him. Duca Valentinwa just back in distance, new Tipperary. An extra 100 metres helps. He hit the line okay at Hawkesbury behind Pecans.
Okay, so the favourite's looking good here, Mike. Track conditions, we've got to play this on the weekend.
Yeah, soft track, heavy track. Pecans absolutely loves it. A soft Rosehill, Spectroscope absolutely loves too. It can quicken from the back, this sleek horse.
All right, interesting to see him just level up there. Just in behind though, position in run, Mike. Is this going to give us a little edge?
Not much. Fair tempo. They'll be fanning across the track, so they all should get their chance.
All right, so it's Pecans and My Nordic Hero just edging out there, Mike. But if I have a look at all those ratings, because look, that's all we need to do. Time for a bet. There's not too much between all these, so let's get them all up. Let's get the odds involved. That's what we've got to play in the first leg. When looking for some edge here, there's the two favourites. They're on top, Mike. Just a length back to Spectroscope, so a bit of value there, but which way are we going to play it here? I mean, my money, it's got to be on My Nordic Hero. We've seen that replay. Where are you playing?
Yeah, definitely. He's in the mix. And looking at other horses, good fella after freshen up. Not sure what to do with him. He could surprise. We could have been more generous with our form rating for him. Duca Valentinwa, he never wins late, doesn't he? Chamois Road's interesting third up. I think the 1,500 metres will suit him. So there's a few little each way players you could take, but we're focusing on those top three. We've missed Pecans, we missed the boat for her, so we're not going to back her. My Nordic Hero, we think he can improve second up in Spectroscope. That's the one that should like the track conditions.
Okay, so it's the grey for us in the first leg of the quaddie this weekend at Rosehill Gardens. Straight into the second leg now. It's the Starlight Stakes over the 1,100 metres at listed level. And I'll tell you what, Mike, Deploy, we see this horse returning. A couple of nice trials. Injured last preparation though, so a few questions out there. An Invincible Star, well, a big Group 1 flop latest. So many questions on these really classy two horses.
Absolutely huge questions on those two sprinters you just mentioned, Stu. Which one can bounce back? We picked one of them, but we're not quite sure what's going to happen on Saturday. Watch the market, watch the yard, and see where your confidence lies. Let's have a look at the way the second leg of the quaddie shapes up. A really good listed level sprint. Invincible Star for Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott, sixth up. You do not see many sprinters sustain their prep for that long. Fed a strong tempo with a couple going forward. Soft six and edging off the rails.
All right, let's have a look at the market now for the second leg of the quaddie. And I'll tell you what, you'd think these two would just be heading at Mike, but they are not. Marsupial is on top, $3.60 into $2.90, so well supported as well. Invincible Star there into $4.20. Deploy, as we said, really the interesting runner for mine, $5.50 here. Spending to win, $10. Surplus, it's been up a bit as well, $10. Batterhouse right there at $11. But Mike, these two Group 1 performed horses are not favourites for this race.
They're not. Marsupial is a surprise favourite. It's a Godolphin horse, decent sprinter. We've got to have a look at this replay and see why it's such a short price favourite against some seriously good sprinters. This is its last start, strong tempo, 1,000 metres. Getting the right run, it has to be said, with cover. Trucking up into the race now, gets to the outside, gets the win. What do you reckon, Stu?
Well, look, this is where the key factors have to come in, Mike. You've said it had a few favours this day, got the strong tempo. I mean, look, face value here, comes down the outside, wins. Does it win well enough?
Yeah, not quite sure. Obviously, tactical advantage, massive weight, just peaks a little bit late. Revenue one next start, just behind, or I saw in one next start just behind. Good win, but had the favours. Just not sure, Stu.
All right, we're going to find out come Saturday. Let's have a look at one of the other horses now. It's Spending to Win, Mike, and I'll tell you what, the position in run this horse got this day was absolutely A1. Can it get it again on Saturday?
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, you know what you get from this grey. Last start, he flopped over 1,000 metres, but he had a few excuses, injured, racing keenly, 4 or 5 horses across the track. The thing about this replay a couple of starts ago is we reckon he'll get exactly the same position on Saturday. Yep. 2 litres going forward, including the Waterhouse horse. He loves stalking a genuine tempo, and he loves chasing him down, Stu. He's so genuine.
Well, that's exactly what he just did there, isn't it? Just popped off, and look, you're still going to get the job done, even though you had that right run. Yeah,
those Godolphin horses were back in the pack, Marsupial included, so he's a decent horse at his best.
Okay, so a good way to line them all up, Mike. Let's have a look at all the form and the key factors. Take it away.
Yeah, really good sprint race over 1,100 metres. Marsupial and Spending to Win, big form ratings. Invincible Star and Deploy flopped last start.
Okay, there we go. What to do with these favourites? Let's see if the key factors can sort all that out, Mike. Progression.
A little bit of black magic, but which one's going to improve? Deploy after a break. Obviously, lots of training going into its preparation. Its trials were nice and quiet. It's obviously the one that can turn its form around.
No progression there for Invincible Star. You can take us through that. Distance at stage of prep, Mike?
Yeah, maybe back in distance is slightly good for Invincible Star. Back to 1,100 metres, it suits her. And Magic Alibi, 1,100 metres, suits this horse with Gerald Ryan as well.
Okay, so it's the favourite and spending to win. As we have a look at the track conditions.
Yeah, looking at track conditions, we like Gibraltar Girl back to 1,100 metres, can improve. And Magic Alibi, she was up to 1,400 metres on a strong tempo last start. Back to 1,100 metres is much better for the sprinter. 1,400 on a strong tempo was just way too far for her last time.
All right, still these two group horses, Mike, they're not in the picture. What about position in run? Does that help Deploy?
Yeah, Deploy gets a beautiful run just behind him. Spending to Win gets an absolutely gun run too as well, though. Just poking his head in front, the grey.
Okay, look, I'm really keen to see these two, Mike. We've got one of the favourites here in Deploy, a bit of value, well, not value, we've got some positives there. Now, Invincible Star, I haven't seen any positives there at all, Mike. So, look, the punters just need a bet in this race. They've got so many questions they need answering. We've had a little bit there. How are we going to play this?
Well, I think you like Deploy. I think you're leaning towards him. He's such a strong horse, isn't he? He's best. And remember that Le Romain run all that time ago on the soft track? He's a really good horse, but Spending to Win must super let the top riders along with Deploy. Magic Alibi, she's the mare that just might be underrated. Look, Spending to Win last start, he wasn't that good, was he? But 2 starts ago at Caulfield. If he can produce that from the box seat, it's going to be so hard to beat each way all day for him. Magic Alibi, she's over the odds as well.
All right, so we found a little bit of edge there for Spending to Win. There's a look at the second leg of the quaddie this weekend at Rosehill Gardens. Stick around and we'll wrap up legs 3 and 4 after the break.
All right. Yeah.
Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. We're up to the third leg of the quaddie at Rosehill Gardens this weekend, and it's over the 1,300 metres. And Mike, I tell you what, Drachenfels, well, this horse just did not get a shot in behind Blue Tycoon last start at Canterbury. And Revenir, back from a flat Melbourne run. I'm interested to see where we're going to play this horse.
Yeah, Drachenfels, big red mark next to the form guide, isn't it? Just like Cool Vinny last time.
True, same race.
Some interesting horses you mentioned. Let's have a look at the third leg of the quaddie, see how this 1,300 metre race sets up. Benchmark 88. Gresham, a really good horse last preparation. He's fresh, so how's he going to go on Saturday? A fair tempo again, over 1,300 metres, soft 6, edging off the rails like we said.
Okay, let's have a look at the market now for the third leg of the quaddie. Let's hope everyone's still alive as we get into it. And on top, it is Revenir at $4.40. Up a little bit in trip. Stablemate Bo Guess there, $5.50. We've got Blue Tycoon, last start winner, as we said, $6.50. Gresham, you mentioned that, fresh, $7. Mapmaker here at $8. Drachenfels, as we said, no luck at all last start. Cattersby, just in behind last start as well at $9. So Mike, 7 of these horses, it looks like, under the $10 mark. This is interesting.
Yeah, including Blue Tycoon and Drachenfels, who we're going to have a look at here, who we reckon are completely the wrong way in the market, and it won't take a rocket scientist to work out why. Blue Tycoon leading around the tight track Canterbury. We talked about bias before and a little bit of on-pace bias this day. Drachenfels back on the inside with the Bjorn Baker colours this day, with Cool Vinny behind him, who won at Rosehill last week, and you backed him, Stu, so you can talk about this horse too.
Oh, we can, but again, looking at another replay like this, where the horse just doesn't get any luck. For those ones that did back at last start, we might have to say, you might have to turn up again.
Yeah, 2 unlucky horses. Cool Vinny wins next start. Drachenfels, can he win as well? A really good run, obviously going well for Bjorn Baker. Okay,
well, let's have a look at Revenir, because a few questions here out to the 1,300. So let's take you back to a 1,200 race on a heavy track, importantly. This was at Randwick. How did he finish off?
Really well. This is a really good run. June 23, 1,200 metres heavy track, so pretty testing race. He's never been to 1,300 metres before, but you've got to think this is pretty similar. Liz Doonvana, a pretty good horse behind him in the purple. He does really, really well. He handles the wet. Bella's Success back on the inside won on Wednesday, didn't she? So the form ratings are okay. It's just his last start at Flemington. He drifted in the market. We just don't know how he's going now.
Okay, we just want to see exactly where that horse is, but that tells us he can handle the rain-affected track. Come Saturday, we're going to find a lot more about this horse and others here. Mike, form and the key factors. Let's get through them all for the third leg.
Yeah, that horse Revenue here, really hard to rate. We've been a bit harsh on him for form, haven't we?
Yeah,
there's a few we're lining up for gold there. Revenue just on his last start. We couldn't give him much more.
Okay, look at this. Plenty of value through the middle, Mike. Let's see how the key factors go. Progression.
Yeah, progression, Gresham. Not as if he's that fantastic first up. He's pretty good first up. It's more the scope he's got as one of the 4-year-olds that can improve in this race. Sparky Lad second up always improves. Strathmore second up for Waller. He can improve as well.
Favourite's still a long way back here, Mike. What about the distance?
Distance stage of preparation, nothing much doing. Gresham handles it first up, but nothing much doing there.
Okay, we can move on. Gresham still out in front. Track conditions.
Yeah, we saw Revenue in a wet track. He absolutely loves it. Drakenfels, I didn't know he was a wet tracker, but going back through all these runs, he picks up so beautifully on a wet track. He's got some really strong form lines, including around Detective and Kanachi, who loves the wet.
Okay, and a little bit of love there for Revenue, as we've seen from that replay, Mike. Position in run, does this sort this bunch out?
No, we're leaving those two hanging out there, Stu.
Mike, they have all hit the line together there. I'm looking at the middle there. There's a lot of odds through there. I'm having a look at one thing though. Drakenfels, this horse winning. I don't know. Maybe. Let's have a look at all the ratings and the odds, Mike. It's time for a bet. We've just got to see how we're going to play this race. $9 on top. Where are these favourites? Revenue 440 right down there, and how about Boguest? No love for him.
Yeah, no love. I don't think he'll win. Revenue, we've been a bit harsh on him. He's definitely going the quaddie, but there's two top runners, and they're great odds, aren't they, Stu?
Yeah.
Drakenfels, maybe on a dry track, sprinting from 500 metres out, I wouldn't like him, but he just picks up through the track on a wet track, and he just absolutely loves it, and he's such good odds. Got to back him each way, and Gresham first up could do anything for with Hugh Bowman on. Got to put him in as well.
All right, so it's Drakenfels on top for us in the third leg of the quaddie. Wrapping it up with race 9, it's a Tab Rewards handicap over the 1500 metres, benchmark 88. Mike, no show. This was a big key factors play a few weeks ago. We got the Bickies that day. Now, Sexy Eyes, this horse, great form, winning its last two. Can it progress again and get the hat trick?
Yeah, really progressive horse. Such an important thing. Often the market underrates those progressive types. Yep. Chris Waller always gets them to improve. Let's see how this mare goes against the boys in the last leg of the quaddie. 1500 metres. Let's look at the way the race shapes up. Benchmark 88 again. Sexy Eyes fifth up. Getting deeper into her preparation, but we think she can keep improving. She's got so much progression. The thing about this race is there's not much tempo, just fair to steady. Maybe steady now with a couple of scratching, soft six, and edging off the rails. Okay,
so we'll look out for that tempo in the last leg. The punters want to have a look at the market here. So let's take them all through. And that horse, Sexy Eyes, as I said, shooting for the hat trick into $3.70 now. Gaulois, this horse is on one I'm interested in, $4.60, Mike. Nocio coming off that great last start win, $7. Arraignment coming from the same race, tough on pacer. Asterius back as well, $8. Tip Top's right there as well, Mike. But I reckon a few in the last are going to be playing this favourite all day long.
Yeah, they might be. Sexy Eyes. She's a good mare. Let's have a look at No Show just because we can. It's the last race of the quaddie. We enjoyed it last start. Let's see what happened. And geez, it was a good ride from a wide barrier, just getting into the box seat, tracking up behind Arraignment, who was so well backed, but No Show on this day just had a bigger turn of foot, Stu.
Yep, was just in behind them, got out at the right time, and wow, didn't it just sprint well?
Amazingly well. Mutakaram ran really well into third as well, but Arraignment, the thing about this horse is it handles any condition, so it should handle a soft track on Saturday.
Yep.
And wait for it, it gets a 5.5 kilogram turnaround with Robbie Dolan. Not many people like their weights, but a length and a bit, 5.5 kilos. That's significant.
We love a horse here on Key Factors that just loves to stick on. What about Sexy Eyes, Mike? We've got to have a look at one of her last few replays. This is going two back, and all importantly, this was on the soft at Randwick.
Yeah, the reason why she's got upside is she's got that strength, doesn't she, Stu? Last preparation, when the first time she went to 1400 metres, she absolutely brained them. This preparation, first time to 1400 metres again, off a strong tempo, absolutely brains them again. Her last start was 1500 metres on a dry track. Some people might thought that was disappointing, but it was a sharp track, it was a slow tempo. She's just so strong late, and it'll be a testing race, last race of the day on Saturday.
Love that horse. That was just held right up there to the 300. Went away here, didn't win by that sort of margin next start, but that's what we've got to take the viewers through after we've had a look at these replays, Mike. Form and the key factors. Last leg of the quaddie, let's get them home with a winner.
Yeah, tricky one. Definitely a betting race, though. Sexy Eyes and Raymond and Nocio all have good form.
Okay, you've already said it. Betting race, keen to see where we're going. Progression.
Looking for horses with upside. Sexy Eyes definitely has upside. Yep. She's still improving. Asteria second up. Waller didn't think he'd do anything first up, and he absolutely flashed home.
Okay, and out to the 1500 metres, distance to stage of prep.
Yeah, looking for horses that should suit Galois. Just a steady tempo, because distance to stage of prep includes the tempo as well. He's got a big turn of foot himself, and Dagny, she'll improve the extra distance as well.
Right, all the favourites look like they're in this, Mike. What about track conditions?
Yeah, looking for horses that like the soft track. Galois absolutely loves an Asterius. The cutout really suits this grey.
Okay, all favourites here. You haven't given us too much yet, Mike. Position in run.
There's a loose leader, the only leader. Robbie Dolan gets it all to himself, an absolute picnic on 50.5 kilograms. What can he do on arraignment?
So the favourites here, Mike, 1, 2, 3, pretty much 4 and 5. You're saying the market's pretty much got this in order. That's not giving me any edge in this race, Mike. You've said we've got to put a faith in a Robbie Dolan here, so the punters, you might have to jump on board here. Let's have a look at all the markets now with all the ratings as we wrap up the last leg of the day. Mike, Sexy Eyes, 370. I mean, these favourites have just been dominating in Sydney the last, well, what is it now, 6 or 7 weeks. Arraignment, though, you've made a bit of a case here. Right level there at $7. Robbie Dolan, huh?
Yeah, he had a day out at Kembla a few meetings ago. He's going all right. People have got their favourite apprentices, the ones they have faith in. He's on the way up, this guy, and I think he's going to go all right. Joe Pride's put his faith in him. We're putting faith in as well. Each way, we say it a lot, each way all day, he'll be on the pace and so hard to beat for a place. He can win as well. Tough
on pacer. Arraignment there in the last for us. Now, Mike, quaddie time. Let's have a look now. They've sensed a bit of love there late in the day, and Arraignment's one of those that's just got to be there.
Yeah, a little bit of love. Not super confident about this quaddie on Saturday, but we're going pretty short just because we've got some edge in the markets. So when you get a little bit of edge, you have to play it to make some profit. Race 6, Pecans, she's got to go in. She's so consistent, but they're the two other horses that we like. Deploys the classy sprinter we're leaving in. We're leaving out Waterhouse as one. Spending to win's the bet each way, though. Race 8, Drachenfels each way again. Gresham and Revenir, just in case. We were pretty harsh on that form rating, weren't we? And race 9, Sexy Eyes and Arraignment. And I reckon we'll put in Galwar as well with the scratching. I reckon he's going to mix as well.
Okay, so keeping it pretty tight here. 139% for the $100 outlay there for the quaddie. Mike, what about the $100 hot seat? This has been going well lately. Some small profits along the way. What do we got for the punters this week? Anything at big odds?
Yeah, some decent each way plays if you like that type of thing. If you want to go all in, maybe it's not the card for you on Saturday at Rosehill Gardens. We're just going with 3. 15 each way on Spending to Win at $10. 15 each way on Drachenfels at $9. 15 each way on Arraignment at $7. They're all great each way bets. And we're putting 2 all-ups on, $5 on all of them to win. I can't believe that number, Stu. Can you read that? $630.
That's decent.
And the place all-up's paying 18, not as good, but they're all consistent types and they're all in the mix.
Well, you've got to have a go on Saturday, and we've steered you into a few winners. That's all from us in Key Factors. Have a look at the raceguide.com.au before you put your hard-earned on that pony. You want to know how it's going to handle Rosehill and especially the conditions this weekend. See you again next week, and we'll see you at the track.
Cheers, good luck on the punt.